In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Sigma trio lenses, the Sigma 16mm, 30mm, 56mm f1.4 contemporary prime lenses. These lenses have gathered a bit of a following in the camera world, with many people turning to these lenses for a variety of reasons, but mainly because they are sharp as But one of the questions I see regularly asked on photography forums and social media groups is, what one of these lenses should I buy? So in this video we're going to be taking a look at all three lenses, their focal lengths, what they're best used for, their strengths and their weaknesses, etc. And hopefully to help you make a more informed choice as to which lens is right for you. Let's take a quick look at why all three of these lenses are so popular. They all produce incredibly sharp, detailed imagery. Their f1.4 aperture means you get incredible low light performance and bokeh. And their price to performance ratio is superb. Right, let's take a closer look at each lens and their main uses. Let's start with the Sigma 16mm. It comes in at a weight of 405 grams and the price is 330 UK pounds. This is probably the most universal lens of the three. This lens's key photography and video strengths I would say are landscape photography, architecture, wedding, street photography, group portraits and vlogging, amongst other things. To give you some idea of the focal length of each of these lenses, I'm going to stand in front of them and give a quick vlog test of each of them, showing you the distance I am away from them. At the minute, this is the Sigma 16mm and I'm approximately 2 foot away from the front of the lens. Its minimum focus distance is 25cm, which is okay. It's okay for close-up photography, but definitely cannot be used for macro photography. Its weaknesses are, it has no stabilization, and with its 16mm focal length, images can appear a bit mobile phony. And by that I mean it's easy lens just to point and shoot. It's easy to forget about composition, which can lead to a lack of creativity in your photos. It's not wide enough for interior real estate shots. You maybe want a lens of around 12mm for that. It's okay for pet photography, but definitely not for wildlife. And not good for close-up sports action either. Now let's take a look at the Sigma 30mm, weighing in at 265 grams and a price of 290 UK pounds. Its key photography and video strengths are, it's a good all-rounder. Almost the same focal length as what we see with our own eyes, which makes it a great video lens also, and an all-round photography lens. Good for architecture, wedding photography, street photography, portraits, and product photography. This is a vlog test with the 30mm f1.4. I'm approximately 3.5 foot away from the front of the lens, and like I say, this is the Sigma 30mm. Its minimum focus distance is 30cm, which is again okay. It's good for close-up photography, but definitely not for macro photography. Its weaknesses are, it has no stabilization, again just like the 16mm. It also doesn't come with a weather seal like the 16 and 56mm lenses do, which is a real shame. It can also suffer from focus breathing. It's good for pet photography, but again not good for wildlife photography. Landscape photography is okay and it can be used for that, but you'll find the 16mm is the better option. And unless you've got 4-foot arms, handheld vlogging is out the question. Of course if you use a tripod it's totally fine. And finally let's take a look at the Sigma 56mm. It weighs in at 280 grams and its price is 380 UK pounds. Its key photography and video strengths are, well, portrait, portrait and more portrait. This lens is the king of portraits. If you need a lens for taking portraits, this is it. It's great for weddings, street photography, events, product photography, etc. Video is good but not handheld. It can also be used for indoor sports like basketball, as long as you're fairly close. This is the vlog test with the Sigma 56mm. I'm approximately 6 foot away from the front of the lens, and this is how it looks. The minimum focus distance with this lens is 50cm, which again is okay. Now it's worth noting, even though each lens has a different minimum focus distance, they almost produce identical results with close-up photography. Its weaknesses are, it's not the most forgiving lens, especially with someone new to photography. It punches in quite a lot and can be tricky to use in certain situations. Also, just like the other two lenses, it has no stabilization. Wildlife photography again is not on the cards. This just doesn't have the reach to be able to photograph birds or animals at a distance, but pet photography is perfectly fine. I also don't recommend it for outdoor sports, it just doesn't have the reach for that in my opinion. And once again, unless you've got 8-foot arms, this isn't good for handheld vlogging. Again, it's okay if you've got a tripod though. So to conclude this very short video, all these lenses are extremely sharp. The 16mm with its wide focal length is great for landscape and vlogging. The 30mm with its focal length is just a fantastic all-round lens. And the 56mm with its punch-in focal lengths is the portrait king. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you own any of these lenses, please let me know in the comments what you use them for and to guide other people into purchasing the correct lens for their needs. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see further videos like this, hit the subscribe button and bell notification to get notified when I next release. But thank you ever so much for watching, it really means a lot. We'll catch up in the next video.